quick documentation. Today is January 20th, 2018, which happens to be Becca's and mine anniversary. You will notice it's snowing outside, and today Becca decided was the best day to have our second baby. So just wanted to let everybody see what's going on.
So, Lizzie, this is your birth story that Dad wanted me to tell so that you have documentation of it when you're older and you can look back on this video. It all started on a Friday night. Your aunts and uncles were here, and we were watching a movie together, and Dad and Alana were making fun of me because I had not packed my hospital bag yet. I didn't think that you would be coming this early. So I decided that the next morning I would pack my bags so that I would be ready to go if you decided to come early. We all went to bed pretty late, midnight. I went to bed just like any other night, not expecting anything, and then at 4:30 in the morning I got up to go to the bathroom, and I went and I was coming back to bed, and I felt like I had peed myself a little bit, which is common when you're pregnant, so I went back to clean up, and when I was finished, decided that I was too uncomfortable in the underwear that I had soaked through. So I went to go get a new pair, and as I was doing so, my water broke all over the bathroom floor, and it's pitch black, it's really dark. I was in shock. I knew what had happened, but wasn't expecting it, so I stood there for a minute trying to decide what to do, and I started yelling at your dad, and he couldn't hear me. But eventually, I said his name loud enough that he did, and told him I needed his help, and he came in, and we both didn't know what to do for a minute, and I was just in shock. But eventually we figured it out. We decided that we needed to go to the hospital, so I got dressed, and Dad got dressed, and we plucked Owen out of bed, and just grabbed minimal things that we needed, and we headed out the door, and it had snowed a lot the night before, so the roads were really slushy, and it was kind of scary, and your dad didn't want to get on the freeway, and I was a little worried about that because I was starting to have painful contractions, so we took the back roads, and it took longer, but we got to the hospital safe. He dropped me off and went to go drop Owen and Rufio off to Alana's. And while that was happening, I got checked in at the hospital, and they confirmed that my head water broke. And they admitted me, and my contractions at that point were pretty strong, so I got an epidural. And it was taking longer than normal, and it was really uncomfortable. And it was kind of hard because the first epidural didn't work, and I kept feeling all of my contractions. So I was in pain for a little while, but they called the anesthesiologist back, and he gave me a second one. And it worked. The second epidural worked, but it was kind of funny because they had to do two. I was really drugged. I had the double dose of medicine, so I just felt completely out of it, which was nice because then the next 2 or 3 hours went by really quickly for me, and Soon after those hours went by, we were, just hanging out, watching shows, and then it felt like it was time for you to come. I could feel you coming. So I called the nurse in, and she said that I was right and that you were coming. And so the doctor was called, and we had to wait another 20 minutes. I was worried she wouldn't get there in time. But she showed up, and I didn't have to work very hard to get you here. I only had to push you out once. And then you and I got to hang out for quite a long time together. You're a really easygoing baby. You've been sleeping a lot. And pretty much you and I just got to hang out with Dad for the rest of the day. All three of us together. And you just kept sleeping, and it was really nice. You gave me a good rest. And now we're home, and Owen really loves you, and he doesn't like when you're laying in your bed. He always wants one of us to hold you. And it's been really nice to have you around so far. And we love you lots. And that is your birth story so far.
So Lizzie, yesterday you were born, and when I got home last night, I noticed that our furnace wasn't working, and it's really cold outside, so we tried to fix it. Owen and I stayed up till about midnight working on it, but we weren't able to fix it, so we had to call in a professional. Yeah, show them how you work on it.